Hello, the internet. How's it going, boys and girls?
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome, friends. Only the finest of gentlemen have assembled themselves.
Hello, hello. I'm glad we have a large number of fills here
A
to
large
Yes,
join.
number of
sir.
fills. The gathering of fills.
What's the phonetic alphabet for P?
Papa or
All
Phil.
right, 93. That's gonna be me.
All right. Are we all ready to go? Are we going to get
Yes,
started?
Yeah, I
sir.
think we're good. You could definitely read the intro and stuff.
All righty. Here we go. So, the scenario is that it is presently fall of 2026. The year has been marked by political scandal, economic crisis, conflicts across the globe, and the overall degradation of quality of life. Yet people in America have trudged on. You and your group of friends live in the city of Winston-Salem in North Carolina. In the past, the city has been relatively peaceful, but troubles with the U.S. government losing its grip have shaken the country, and a civil war that has erupted within Mexico has been raging for quite some time. Both sides wasted no time, becoming absolutely vicious towards each other, and each day the cartels get more desperate as their losses mount. Michael is a friend of yours, and he owns and runs a local restaurant known as Mariscos Marlin Restaurant. He is at his wits' end and asks for your help one evening. He has been getting pressed more and more aggressively by the local protection racket of organized crime. About 2 weeks ago, he had an altercation with some local gangsters and alleged cartel members who had come to collect money from him. Michael was severely beaten. The following evening, his house was broken into and his daughter was taken in the middle of the night with a ransom message sent to his phone that for $200,000 he would get her back. Knowing that if he did not pay, his daughter would be have things done to her, she would be killed or sold onto the flesh markets. He swallowed his pride. He apologized to the gangsters and he begged for her life. Michael took out a loan against his house and his business to pay the $200,000 back. He received his daughter back, who, although pretty mentally shaken up and traumatized, was largely physically unharmed, except for a few bruises and scratches. It is now 1 week after these events, and he has received his daughter back. He approaches you with tears in his eyes, and a once vibrant friend of yours has been reduced to a mess. His livelihood is being sucked dry by soulless, lazy men who thirst for the blood of innocents. The police are overwhelmed and largely not of use in the present situation. Regarding Michael's daughter being kidnapped, the only thing an officer had to say was, well, at least there was a happy ending. You got your daughter back and nobody got hurt. Next week, more protection money is due. And so that is where we are. Tonight's game will be a little less, let's see, it's going to be a little less tactical, a little more discussion led. Uh, as we go through the kind of various phases. Um, so, first of all, I would like to know who wants to play.
I can definitely play.
Papa 93. I will play.
Stand by. I got. If I pull up my Discord, does it show? It doesn't show the Discord. It just shows the screen share. Okay. Who was the other people that wanted to play
GWOT
other
can
than GWOT?
play, and Papa 93, I think, said something.
Yes, sir. I did say something.
Why three people? I'll play. This is just Phil. You know, Phil.
Phil Actual.
Phil, Phil
Yeah, Phil
actual. Hell
Axel.
yeah. Alrighty. Three's good.
Can you guys hear me eating?
When you talk, I can tell you have stuff in your mouth, but other than that, no.
Yeah, for a second I thought you were doing like an impression of my voice, but then I realized, oh wait.
Hold on, I got something in my mouth.
Yeah.
Just kidding, carry on.
Right. Well, we can begin. So, first of all, as you agree to help your friend, you have 1 week essentially to prepare for when the gangster or gangsters return to his restaurant and demand more protection money. Until that time happens, you basically got a week to prepare. So, yeah, let's start with what kind of people you would select for this sort of thing. Yeah.
Who?
Or yeah, Phil, go for it. Phil Actual. Or was that Phil 93?
I was gonna ask.
Well, 93 is trying to talk.
Yeah, I was trying to say, who is our selection people? Who can we choose from to help us with this job?
So it's more something to think about. Like, you're obviously looking for people that, have some balance of, high intelligence, but also crazy enough to actually do it, Kind of as the world goes to shit, it's going to people that were previously straight in their lives, are going to be more and more open to, the realization that this kind of thing is going to be necessary. And it's not like I have a roster for you, right? We don't have characters to pick from. The game is to kind of put yourself in these shoes and recruit from your buddies. Obviously, the list goes down to who's mentally and physically prepared to do this kind of thing, who's got the hard skills, and who's essentially willing and able. And it's something to think about because, well, essentially, at some point, we're all going to have to stop being soft. And, well, I'm not saying that people here are soft, but, I mean, you get the idea as a society in general.
Yeah, definitely not a lot of people. First of all, I'm not trying to get like a squad together for this, just because the more people that know, the more liabilities and loose ends you have. Like, not even if you knew that many dudes that were good, right? Do you want that many dudes, girlfriends or wives, seeing them leave the house at 2 o'clock in the morning? Like, one of them's gonna be nosy and put a tracker on his car or something. I'm just like trailing, but you get my point, right? Even if the guys themselves are solid, the more numbers, the more moving parts you have, the more windows of opportunity for liabilities you create. So, like, one or two other people, and then obviously that they have to care enough, right? They have to be tied enough to the success of the store or to the family, or just long-term friends enough that we have enough friendship buy-in with each other that they'd be willing to help out with something like this, as opposed to see my life destroyed or see me have to flee the state and become homeless or whatever. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, definitely they have to be capable of doing some gunfighting, which definitely includes some shooting and some moving, but we're not going to be going on any 10-mile patrols or anything like that. So the barrier for entry, fitness-wise, is definitely lowered a little bit, right? If they're as good ones as they ever was, they're probably good enough to come along for this, as long as they are of sound mind and have enough buy-in for the situation.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Quality over quantity here is definitely a thing with this kind of stuff. Somebody said recently in the chat, I don't remember exactly who, but it's the group with the most solidarity, that's the most organized, typically wins. And yeah, I mean, a small team can do a lot of work here, and the more people you involve, like you said, it's more liability. Anybody else got anything?
Okay. So this is our buddy. He owns a restaurant. He came to us. If I were trying to recruit manpower, I would not directly recruit him or anybody in his immediate family that's associated with him. Because these cartels, if they figure out who was behind the plots against them, will come back against this guy in his restaurant.
Oh yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. There'll be like reprisals against specific individuals. And that being said, this gang has probably pissed off a lot of people. There's probably many victims of this gang. Many people who would be willing to do things.
Sure. If you're not going with people who are closely related to you, that's a good angle to go. Is for other victims of the gang. The other angle would be to spend money on a bunch of hired guns that have nothing to do with you. If you're trying to go that route, which isn't a crazy insane route. Pay another gang basically to start a gang war with this gang in the defense of your property. Although that's a quick way to buy yourself into like another protection racket.
Yeah. Also.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm too poor for all that. I don't got that kind of money.
Yeah, well, for sure. It's a restaurant, so it's got some cash flow. I understand that doesn't make him Elon Musk or anything like that, but yeah.
Also, if there is nobody else, I guess we got to use him and his friends and family.
For sure, the cartel definitely has the power. And I'm kind of not talking out of my ass a little bit. I don't have like a bunch of direct experience with the cartel or anything like that, but it does seem that they don't want they understand from a business angle as well, right? It's a crime syndicate that's there to make money, so they understand that if you cause enough of a fuss that the locals start fighting you, and that causes enough of a fuss that then the cops are now getting involved. Now your goal to extort an extra $10,000 a month from this restaurant has fucked up our $2 million a month methamphetamine trade, and they're not going to be happy or cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So at some, it's hard to tell. There's a bunch of other, exterior factors that we don't have to go down a million rabbit holes. But the point is, in theory, if you make a big enough of a fuss, they will kind of fuck off. Like if you make the juice not worth the squeeze, it's not like we're in Mexico where they have a stronghold where they can just operate impunitively and like burn every fucking building down on the city block if they want to. So, you feel me, fam?
Yeah, dog.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my first suspicion, I'm sorry I showed up late, guys. You may have already gone over this, but my first suspicion was that this has the hallmark of a local gang that is using the cartel for branding, because cartels don't usually get themselves involved in petty kidnapping, and they certainly never return a victim unharmed. They use them for ongoing leverage for business, intelligence gathering, and if someone has ever recovered, they're usually really messed up. So if this is the cartel, I'd say, dude, gather your belongings tonight. We're leaving the state. If this is a local gang, like you said, make him as a target something that they don't want to waste their time with anymore, because they will go on to the next weakest target down the road. I don't know, just my suspicion.
Yeah. Overall, I like the idea of, like, again, talking to other people you have solidarity with. Like, this gang probably has they've made a lot of people victims, so that's a great angle to work. This is this is a pretty large restaurant, and it's like pretty widely successful, so it's a good bet that if they're targeting a fish that's this big, it's it's almost guaranteed that they've hurt other people as well. So I mean that's a great angle.
Yeah, they've got the surveillance and logistics capability of snatching and grabbing the daughter, keeping her secure, and then returning her. So they're not like six guys with nothing else to do. They're organized, and there's other businesses that are affected by this for sure that we could perhaps team up with and gather some intelligence on these guys too. Like, these people coming around for protection money, are they coming in? Is it like two guys? Are they high, or do they come as groups? Are they punctual? Are they erratic?
I have a question.
those would tell us more about who we're dealing with specifically and how to
I have a
respond.
question. The main time constraint is that in 1 week, these people are coming for more protection money than this guy. Can he pay it?
Yes, he can pay it, but it's kind of coming down to the wire for him. Obviously, you have access to him and you can talk to him.
We don't really have like a shitload of time to investigate the ins and outs and all the details of this gang, but just a thought.
Yeah, my initial quick rundown of how I would handle it would be to move the family to a safe location. Each of these have like a whole thing to be talked about, but it would be move family to a safe location, establish an ambush, likely at the next payment, right? Say, okay, I'm ready to pay. Let's do it here, and then at that spot, ambush the people that are there, follow any survivors, possibly leave some on purpose with a drone, and then set up a hide site on wherever they went back to lick their wounds at, to eliminate them as they walk out to smoke cigarettes or enter their vehicles or whatever the case is. Which is like, rather than trying to do a CQB raid on the house, just sit on it, and whenever they come outside, deal with them. That would be my 4-step process of how to violently deal with the issue. Obviously, each of those has a whole thing to talk about, and mitigating yourself being caught, and et cetera, et cetera.
Cool. Yeah, and that's
Like
that leads. Go.
I have a friend who works as a private investigator and a vice president of training for a security company in the local area. I could hook up to restaurant owner Michael, that his name was, with my friend and see if maybe they can get some security up and around the restaurant. And yes, I do agree with the idea of family somewhere and seeing maybe if family could get executive protection.
Keep in mind, I mean, that sounds really expensive, and this guy is already in the hole. He can pay them this coming week, but I mean, how much is all this going to cost? He's trying to break free from this. Destroying these people is, I mean, I don't want to overbear too much, but really the answer is to get rid of these people.
I mean,
And cut down on his costs.
Total Mexican death.
Hey.
All right, we need a final solution for these people.
Um,
I like GWOT-'s plan.
all right, addendum to GWOT-'s plan.
yeah, I was gonna say GWOT plan, but yeah,
Like running some kind of ambush at the actual protection money exchange drop. You're tipping this gang off that something's going on. You should
you get
probably,
ambushed in the conspiracy section.
in my mind, you would want to get all of them in one place before you move. I don't know. Like you could do something and follow them back to their little lair, but the goal should be to get all of them or most of them in the same place at the same time, not just whoever comes to pick up the money. Just seems like too small of a target.
And do we
Okay.
want to get this guy out of town right away, or do we want to have him carry on as usual so that the gang doesn't suspect anything is off? Because if he's out of town and there's a bunch of guys, new people under new management here, it could tip them off that something is foul.
Yeah, to me, he's involved, and he's probably going to be involved in either being the bait or even being a shooter. It's his family that we need to get out of here, right? So, like, if my friend came to me and this was happening to him, and this gang didn't necessarily know him enough to know that we were friends, I would have his wife and kids go stay at like my grandma's house, who lives on the other side of the state.
Right.
So
they're out of town.
They're out of town. They're at like a family friend's house, but this cartel has no idea that we're connected, and definitely don't know about grandma on the other side of the state or whatever the case is. So they're totally good. They're safe, and now we can take care of business this week, and either
So
we deal with it, or we cause such a big fuss the cops have to deal with it, or some shit like that. But it ends this
Yeah,
week.
I get that part. Okay, yeah, that sounds great. As for him though, with the emotional position he's in, do we want to make him a shooter, or just tell him, hey, we'll take care of it. You just show up and pay, and we'll take care of everything? Because I mean, that could have its pros and cons depending on what his emotional state is. He could easily go on a rampage and go full killdozer on these people, but do we want that? Or
yeah, I mean, it largely
something more predictable and controllable.
It largely would just depend on the individual. Like if it was my restaurant, I would definitely be involved, no questions about it. It just depends on who it is and however we want to let the scenario play out. I get it. It could go both ways, right? If he's not a big aggressive guy or whatever, a big tough dude, and this is really tearing him up, and he's like having a hard time showing up to work, then yeah, probably don't make him a shooter. If he's like coming to you like, I've got the ambush site laid out, this is what we're gonna do. Like, yeah, I think he's probably good to go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and like what Phil Actual was saying, it also depends on like which way, how you want to handle it, right? Because if you handle it at the restaurant, like obviously that makes a more powerful statement, but it's less obvious, it's less quiet, it's more out in the open. Depending on which way, you think the tide of conflict is going to go, like, hey,
For sure.
if it's going to get worse, like 2 or 3 years down the road, and the cartels are going to have more influence, you can pay for something like that down the road. Whereas,
you could even try to use it like it doesn't necessarily even have to be the money pickup site. That's just a scheduled thing that's already happening, and you could even adjust to that to try and fit it to our narrative, right? We could say like, okay, I'm going to submit, I'm going to pay you your racket money, I want to talk to your fucking main leader and negotiate on the actual price amount. Let's do it at this coffee shop or wherever the hell you want to, right? I don't want to be seen with you guys at my restaurant, so I need to have a sit down, blah, 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 blah. I'll have the money for this week that we already agreed upon, but I want to negotiate about moving forward. Try to like pull as many people in as you can and place it wherever you want to place it. Or if you have a better idea about another way to make that happen, then I'm all yours.
Have we considered taking the money collectors hostage? They're probably low-value targets, but maybe some extreme violence might send another message.
I would say take one of them hostage, and then if there's a second or another one, send a message, shall we say.
I don't
know
that that's the best message to send. I was just wondering if we'd considered it.
Has not been talked about. We definitely could discuss it.
All right.
I was going to say I also like GWOT-'s idea, because that is one thing I do know about hostage negotiation. Is if you try to say like, hey, I'm trying to get the money, a little bit more likely to work with you.
Yeah, I think just being able to figure out their network and get connections within that is really valuable. Probably more valuable than whatever crackheads they're sending to collect the money. They're probably extremely expendable. But use them to get better connections within the gang.
So I'll go ahead and say the collector usually shows up. He's got like 2 bodyguards with him, so it's usually 3 guys that make the pickup. This from talking to Michael. You'll have, he'll answer your questions and stuff like that in the scenario.
All right. What kind of car did they come in, and did you ever get a license plate? I asked him that. I was there.
Yeah. So, security cameras. Let's just roll the dice for it. Oh hell yeah. The security camera caught the license plate. You.
I don't know how to use that information, but we do have it. Are you actually using dice to determine whether or not the bullshit I say is gonna?
Yeah, he does this just like a D&D master. Yeah.
That's fucking fly. All right.
I mean, it's just random. It's like whatever. Let's just do it on the fly. Yeah. So, anyways, okay. They show up in a red pickup truck, and you have a license plate for it.
All right, that's amazing. I still don't know how to find them, but
that's
okay. You can use that.
You
can use that information on like websites where you pay a small fee, and it'll tell you like the address the vehicle's registered to and the name and all that stuff.
it's great information for like down the road, because that's probably what they're going to show up with, and then if you decide to just pay them normally, then you can trail them or whatever. But yeah, it's useful to have in the future.
It's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
Yeah. That's amazing. All right.
So we agree we're going to attempt to destroy them. We agree we're going to move the family, and we agree we're going to attempt to destroy them. Is that correct?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the discussion
ideally-
is on how do we best destroy them? Where do we want to lure them into an ambush? How do we want to do that if that's what we want to do? Do we want to make a payment and follow them back to try to gain more intel and then ambush them at where they live or whatever the case is? Do we want to try and be private investigators? What are you boys thinking? I turn the floor over to you.
The very
I'm fine
first
with-
thing you should do is make sure that, let's say that one part happens, make sure it is away from civilians. That way, nothing bad happens.
Definitely civilian
they're
consideration
taking
as much as
advantage.
possible.
Either take a stand at the time of collection or follow them back to wherever they go peacefully and secretively while expecting to have a negotiation meeting later. Do we want to try that, or do we want to just send a message and say all-out war at the counter?
I vote we pull some move to draw out their little collectors or negotiators and follow them back to see where they go.
I think that'll take longer, but I also think it has the better payoff in the end, long term.
Yeah, economically, because I mean, really, Michael's business is what pays for the whole party, and like more violence around his business, with gunshots and all that stuff. I mean, it scares people, it drives people away. So,
Well,
probably
I did hear about this one Taco Bell that had a car drive through the wall, and they were still doing business the next day.
That is true. No, in the moment, the car was there. The glass was freshly crushed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
People were like climbing through structurally unsound entryways to get to their tacos. Man, it was pretty wild.
That was a great story. I told everybody I know this week about that.
Yeah, man, it was
They're all
pretty-
hyped up on Baja Blast, man.
Only in America.
Yeah, but can you come into work?
yeah. Anyways, so we want to pay them and follow them. Do we want to just pay them normal at the store and then follow those three dudes back, or do we want to do something along the lines of what I was kind of saying and see if we can draw a bigger party out?
Yes, draw the bigger party out.
Cool.
I know I'm late to the party. Do we ever make a consideration to seeing if the daughter had actionable intel?
It's a great idea.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, smart, but she doesn't. She was pretty traumatized. She was put in she was blindfolded pretty quickly and earmuffed and had like those razor handcuffs put on her wrists. So if she struggled too much, she would slit her own wrists and all that. So they were pretty tight-lipped with it.
Understood. Just want to make sure we asked the question.
Which in and of itself is intel, right? They did a solid job. They weren't sloppy.
Yes, confirmed.
Yep.
They know what they're doing, and the thing is too, the gangs the kidnapping problem isn't solved because they're gonna repeat what they know works. So it's a good idea to get his family out of town and in a safe location.
Yeah, I think we all unanimously agreed on that right away.
Okay, good call. All right, sounds good.
So we're going to say we need to negotiate and try and draw out a larger party. Say we need to talk to the leader, something like that.
Let's pay, follow them back in any case, but also demand a meeting, draw out a larger party, draw out higher ups that we can negotiate with.
I don't think we're going to be able... I don't think anybody higher up than the little money collectors are going to talk to this guy.
That's why I'm fine with following them back too. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know why that... Anyway.
Well,
But it never hurts to ask.
You never know if you don't ask, Phil.
That's right. You miss
know
100%
what?
of the shots you don't take, man.
This this restaurant man, let him try. Let him try to
Yeah, just be like
bullshit this.
one businessman to another businessman. We need to discuss business.
Yeah, he's a businessman. He should be very persuasive and good
Discussing
with making
business.
deals.
I'm a businessman doing business. All right.
Yeah.
We can try to get someone higher up to expose themselves. It's I you know what? All right.
Yeah. Keep in mind, it's still like a week or so away. We're still in planning, so it sounds like we have a roughly basic like 60 to 70% plan for what we're gonna do. Next, let's get into some logistics and equipment, because you're probably not going to want to use your normal phone, your normal everyday vehicle for this kind of thing, or even a weapon that you're not willing to throw away at the end of the day.
Yeah, I would say definitely need to talk about all those details, but right off the bat, I would say having 2 drone operators on standby, assuming we're going to get like a low-level crew and a high-level crew coming out to us. They might go to different places, and then a vehicle and a driver for each of those drone operators so that they can stay within operational range. That way you can track at a pretty great distance, obviously, right? So you're not at any real risk of yourself being your cover blown, etc. Making the days of spying much easier now. And yeah, definitely you're going in the right direction, right? Drop weapons, etc., etc. I'll let you boys talk about all that interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I'd probably want to make connections with the other businesses in the area, see who these people have been dealing with. Have there been other kidnappings or other extortion rackets that have been done? And just figure out who is going along with this, who is not okay with it, and get a general feel for that in the business community. See how things are going there.
You could spend a few hours, days, whatever, asking around, but nobody else really talks to you. You get the impression that some people might be more scared than others, but they don't really meet your gaze. Remember, Michael is a close friend of yours, so you've known him for a while, so he's kind of confident in you, whereas other people are not going to be as much.
Okay. So in this casing the area myself, just by casual observation, are there businesses that look like they are more vulnerable than him? And are there businesses that have taken steps to harden themselves and make themselves a harder target? And what measures have they taken?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Just with the overall kind of insecurity and direction that the country has gone, you are going to see more security cameras, more barred windows, things like that in place. Less bushes and trees and things like that in the parking lot. More open line of sight. Just in general, it's not necessarily useful. It's just kind of because of the general state of decline and where the world's at right now.
Okay, so people are responding to this situation well. Okay.
All right.
That's
I
confirmation.
notionally start dremeling off the serial numbers of loose, shitty shotguns and finishing 80% Glock lowers.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we should do Dremel any serial numbers off, but we definitely need to acquire some with cash sales, etc., etc.
Hell yeah.
We're on-
So
we're on
a great way to
YouTube,
do
right?
this.
Say what?
A great way to do this, obviously, for anybody watching is, you have friends or people that have gotten in over their heads, like financially. It's a great way to buy just about anything.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Let's discuss crime tips and tricks.
Let's hear it, Phil.
If let's say you got a desperate guy that's willing to give you his gun cash on the barrel head because he needs to make his bills. If that gun is recovered, there's somebody's name on it, which leads the cops to whoever's name is on it still,
Right.
and leaves a breadcrumb trail that the cops could follow. The Dremel is inescapable.
Sure.
Most Dremel.
Sure.
80%.
Yeah.
Anyway,
80% definitely
We'll
work.
go burr.
Dremel go burr.
Yes, sir.
And notionally in Minecraft, I would never do this.
Yeah, the issue with the Dremel, the only issue with the Dremel is that it makes it a hot item right away. Right.
Yeah, you can't possess it. Yeah. Yeah, all right.
So if I'm like, I'm going right now out the house to use this in a way that I don't want people to be able to track it, then yeah, I would Dremel. But up until that point, I would not.
All right, I don't start Dremeling yet.
Yeah, have the Dremel. Just have a Dremel stored at the restaurant somewhere because they need them at the restaurant for maintenance or something.
Yep.
May I suggest billet AR-15 lowers?
Yeah, I mean, if we can do 80%ers and stuff like that, that definitely works.
Yeah.
All right.
mean, however you guys get it together, whether
I
it's
handle the weapons.
80% lowers or somebody
What
with a mini
about,
14 or however it works. You have semi-automatic rifles, pistol, and shotgun, whatever you want. But it's kind of a hodgepodge, right? It's not going to be uniform,
Sure.
and you're going to throw these things away after you're done with them.
Definitely.
Let's see. As far as non-lethal options, do you guys want any of that?
I also started making Molotov cocktails in Minecraft.
Yes.
Yeah, Molotovs are spicy. Yeah, a little bit of berry mace
So-
never hurt, but I'm not overly concerned about it.
Police are
Yeah, if
not
somebody shows up with it, I'm not going to
necessarily
send them home. But
police are not necessarily in line with our goals here, right? I mean, like, we're not, like,
generally,
if we
no.
were to capture one alive, I don't think we have the option of turning them over to the police, at which point I
No.
don't know as if non-lethal is a long-term option.
Yes.
alternate scenario, I might consider going after. I got to be careful. We're on YouTube. You know, the people that are visible, and the people that enforce the standards of society. Take them out. Take somebody at the top out, create a power vacuum, and see who replaces that, and see how the gangs respond to that, to identify who it is that's covering for these people, if that's what's going on. Alternate
That's
situation.
way,
Not
yeah,
even-
way,
It's
not
way
even
more
implicating-
complicated, I know.
a week.
Not even implicating or considering that, but I mean, if you're like taking a person with a non-lethal, at some point you have to do something with that individual.
Information.
I mean, you'd have to be prepared for all immediate and further consequences, I suppose, if you are going to go non-lethal.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I mean, and since you guys have already agreed to destroy them, I mean, the purpose of taking someone, of capturing them, would basically just be to question them before sending them off to, Anakin Skywalker's daycare for disagreeable younglings that's right next to a pig farm.
The guy at the gun store said 115 grain 9mm is less lethal, so I pick up a lot of that.
Hell yeah.
Less lethal. It does not mean non-lethal. Excellent.
He said it's less lethal.
Like,
I think we're good on non-lethals. We don't need those, it sounds like. No one's very amped on it.
okay. Have we went over the list of surveillance capabilities and things that is in the city? Do we want to go over that? Because they have like acoustic gunshot detectors. That's a thing. They're typically attached to cell phone towers. They have automatic license plate readers that are, at least publicly, they are on record. So you can plan out and basically know where they are. Camera registries are a thing, but that's more kind of normal. And they have like a crime fusion center, so it's a thing. Just stuff to be aware of. As far as
What?
the acoustic sensors,
What is even a crime crime fusion centers? That's some kind of command center that all these sensors feed back to.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
It's like a police command center for their like real time, where they try to
All right, we're gonna go to
triangulate where the
sensors.
good shots came from. But depending on where you are, like if you're near a street or something that creates a lot of ambient noise, and you're using a suppressor with subsonic ammunition, it's gonna fuck that thing up.
Yeah, I would say obviously if
all right.
whenever we go hot, we need to be gloved up, especially if it's pre-planned, and like the exfil is going to be like do the business, drop the guns, run through somewhere that's covered, whether that's like tree cover or population cover, ditch your outer layer, right? Take your button-up shirt off, take your hat off, whatever, etc., and then walk another mile or whatever it is, and then exfil with a vehicle that's staged or someone that comes pick you up.
Thermite
That's
and gasoline.
You mentioned clothes, so going to a thrift shop, good idea.
Yeah, definitely a way to change your look quickly, right? So you start in a hoodie, and then, I mean, if you wanted to be, which we probably would in real life, we would have multiple levels, right? You'd have a t-shirt, and then like a long sleeve shirt, and then like a overgarment, a jacket, a hoodie, whatever made sense. That way you could have one planned uniform change and then one emergency uniform change. And probably take two hats, right? Like put a baseball cap on, and then have a beanie in your pocket or something. Again, so we can do two full uniform changes if necessary. One planned, one emergency. And yeah, definitely you don't want these to be in anything that are super descript or something that you've taken a million Facebook pictures in already, right? So going to Walmart and buying a bunch of just flat black or flat navy or whatever hoodies, cash, or send grandma to go do that for you would be the money play.
Or you could also trade clothes with a hobo.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways for sure. Point is, your favorite hoodie, not that one.
And there's going to be some stylish hobos running around town. Such drip.
Much wow. Also, depending on we might not have to worry about the license plate sensors, but also we could all go around like little elves and spray paint the lenses on those or some shit. I don't know how
we could prep the battle space the night before.
Those things. Yeah, I don't know how high up those things are mounted, but we could do that.
Paintball guns.
Get some of those kids that climbed over the fence at the border to climb up and spray paint them. Bam.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you spray paint them or
Get some kids to do it.
pop them with a pellet gun or whatever.
Yeah, or throw a water balloon with sand and oil in it up there. Yeah, latex paint, oil, and sand. Just cover it up.
Water balloon of paint. That's pretty fly. All right.
That is pretty fly.
Hey,
Dude, I used to be a
professional.
god.
I used to do this in Minecraft, what can I say?
I used to be a god with the water balloon launcher, at the lake house.
Hell yeah.
Have them use that shit.
The water balloon with paint could actually work with the vehicle if you decide to follow them back and destroy them.
Yeah, I'm picturing we've
And,
got one of those little rubber band two-man teams set up with like a little catapult.
Yes.
Yeah, and then like obstruct their windshields.
Alright, let me reel this back in here before we get too out there. Let's see. What else? What are you gonna do if one of your guys gets shot? If one of your guys gets shot?
Have pre-planned casualty collection points. Know how to casevac. Have a pace plan for casevac. Know where all the hospitals are. Have like as many fucking casevacs as you can. Yes.
So Winston-Salem.
Kitchen at the restaurant. Clean place, sterile stainless steel tables. Great place to take care of casualties.
I don't know about sterile, but I do agree. In general.
Sterilizable. Yeah, stainless steel. It's cleanable.
But would we want to consider any potential evidence that a casualty would leave behind, as i.e., blood and etc.?
Yeah, I would just take the casualty to the hospital and have them say that they self-injured with accidental discharge.
Yeah, I go with that.
Yep.
Stick to that
I
story.
tripped.
Funny kind of detail here. Winston-Salem is actually known for its medical capabilities. They have a level 1 trauma center along with
Also,
doctors college and everything. It's
also,
like well known in the local area. However, there's another town.
maybe we should
Go for it.
maybe we should revisit this whole make our own Bojank doctor's office somewhere, because if we have a casualty that washes up at a hospital, I don't know, maybe this is too paranoid. I don't know the sophistication of this gang or cartel. They might notice if somebody shot washes up at a hospital the day that shit popped off.
It is what it is, man. That's if I got shot, that's where I would want to go, rather than your kitchen.
That's the simplest solution. They got a level 1 trauma center.
You know what?
That's great.
I
Go
think our outfit is not sophisticated enough to deal with the contingency that I just mentioned, so we're just going to take him to the hospital.
I mean, if somebody's like they scraped their knees and got a boo boo,
Sure,
suck it up. But if they got a sucking chest wound, go to the hospital.
yeah, definitely.
So here's a bit of local knowledge. Again, I said what I said about Winston being pretty high up as far as medical capabilities. However, there is a small town to the roughly southeast of it called Thomasville that is a real shit show as far as just drugs and gunfights and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. If you showed up there with a gunshot wound, probably less questions than if you showed up to Winston Central with something like that, like the night that it popped off, because it's always going off in Thomasville, and it's just kind of normal over there, and the nurses there don't ask questions, so
yeah, sure.
they're used to it.
Depending on severity, both two factors leaning equally in the same direction, right? If you have a more complex injury, your life is more greatly threatened. We need to get you to the better trauma center that's closer. But if you just got shot in the leg real bad, probably we can drive you down to Townsville or whatever you called it.
Yeah, we can do triage on the spot. Sure. But we should have somebody. Do we want to have somebody capable and on standby do transportation? I guess would be a good consideration.
No, I would say we don't have a bunch of people. I guess my next questions would probably be more like what operation type are we trying to run here, right? Because if we're doing some sort of a hide site or an ambush, no one's going to be able to come in or out until the zone goes cold, right? And if you are we still have a cell phone. If you need to call an ambulance, you can call an ambulance, and they're going to start coming this way. What is Grandma going to be able to do if we call her and she pulls up in her sedan? She's not going to roll into the middle of the gunfight to try and extract the guy.
Well, depending on where we're doing it, I'm thinking if we had a car, Grandma on standby at the Wally Wash just down the road there or something like that, that might be better than waiting. I mean, they got a really impressive trauma center, but I don't know what their medical response and ambulance response team takes necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, back to manpower, right? I'm envisioning 3 dudes. So if it's 3 dudes and one of us gets shot, the other 2 dudes are just going to stop fighting and pick that guy up and carry him across the street? That's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if we have... go for it, Phil.
I'm on board with keeping the manpower in this whole operation as small as possible, which I guess doesn't really account for a casualty evac guy.
All right, our new rules of engagement: don't get shot, guys.
Yeah, that's always the rule.
I don't really want to involve an extra person just to be the casualty evac.
You fall behind, you get left behind.
Yeah, I mean, plus we're like there's a pre-existing system as some sort of a safety net, right? Like if you do get shot and you are whatever leaned up against the wall and we move away from you for whatever reason, then pull your fucking phone out and call an ambulance. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, yeah.
Do we want
We'll
body
bring
armor
IFAX.
on that note? I assume, I kind of assumed IFAX.
Yeah, for sure. The ability to stop the bleed.
Where's the
IFAX
nearest?
and body armor.
Is there a
and
nearby
helmets.
sporting event where EMS would be on standby?
You don't know.
Okay, all right. If that worked out, that'd be a nice little bonus there. If there was something nearby, on standby at a sporting event.
And by you don't know, I mean I don't know.
Okay, yep, that's fine.
Just to be clear.
No, it's not necessary. It's just something to consider.
Okay. And did we just want the one vehicle?
If we need to,
I think we should have multiple vehicles staged.
We're trying to arrange a meeting with hopefully more than the normal pickup crew, at which we are going to pay them and then attempt to follow them back with drones.
We might want
Question mark.
more than
That's what
one
we're trying to
vehicle.
do.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
have at least 2 vehicles to do a rotating tail if necessary, and we've got drones also.
So let's say there's 3 of us. That's one car with a driver and a drone guy, and then another car.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I mean you could do that. Takes it from 2 drone pilots to 1, and then 2 vehicles. But I don't know. GWOT, what do you think about it? I like it better personally because with the rotating vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, in a perfect world, I'd have 2 vehicles and 2 drones because I'm assuming that there's going to be like the low level crew and then the boss is going to come out, right? And then the low level crew is going to go back to the fucking thug lair, the trap house, and the boss is going to go back to his actual home or the safe house or whatever. So at some point, it's going to be highly likely, at least in my mind, that they're going to split up. So it'd be good to be able to follow both of them. If we don't have that much manpower, then obviously we're going to have to sacrifice something, either 2 operators in one car, or 2 cars with 1 operator.
Are we expecting they're going to show up for money? We're going to ask to see a higher up and they're going to come out right away, or are we expecting like a week later they're going to have an arrangement?
I thought we were going to contact them and say, like, I'm going to pay this week, but I would like to meet with the head guy to discuss business about our future negotiations moving forward.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was planning, but I'm asking, are you expecting him to respond and come out right away on the spot?
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't expect that.
what I'm requesting is for him to come out at the next pickup and talk to me, and then possibly even we can move the pickup location if we want to facilitate that discussion at like a Starbucks or something, or a nice Outback Steakhouse, or whatever the case is.
That makes, if we have 2 different opportunities, that increases our chance for following, and it doesn't necessarily have to split us up.
Sure, that's another thing we can do as well. I'm game for whatever, right? This definitely organizing crime syndicate meetings is not my specialty. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. And at this point, also, like in the game, it would kind of be up to the restaurant owner, Michael, to sort of spin that and make it happen. Because I assume that you guys are not really going to be present during the meeting. You might be in some kind of Overwatch position.
We don't need to be seen. We're just customers at the restaurant. I'd be trying to blend in.
Yeah, or if you don't even want to be customers, just be somewhere away. Again, don't be seen. It's probably the way to go.
Right, over at the Wally car wash there.
Yep, looks like they drive a red pickup, so kind of obvious. And they show up. They tend to show up at noon. You know from talking to Michael again. They show up at noon around the clock, usually when it's most busy.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, guys.
I'm thinking if there's any other questions.
I think we got the initial plan pretty much. pretty much worked out.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Just waiting for GWOT to get back, seeing if there's anything else that I've missed here.
I'm here. I have returned.
All right, let's have the Mr. Restaurant Tour see if he can hook up a meeting with somebody higher up at the next drop off or pickup, whatever.
Can you guys not hear me? No, you can hear me.
Oh no,
I
I
can
hear
hear
you.
Yeah. Sorry,
Cool,
we
cool.
can hear you.
Perfect.
Okay, so Michael, the restaurant owner, makes a phone call to the gangster, but at this point, the gangster has pretty much beat the shit out of him and no longer respects him, and basically just tells him to fuck off. So there's no,
All right.
as far as Michael can tell, there's not going to be any meeting or any higher up coming into the restaurant site.
I guess he's gonna have to pay, and we're gonna have to follow the money or something.
It's looking that way.
And anyway, y'all got some big brain ideas.
All right.
I know you guys have big brain ideas.
We'll do the payment and follow the money. Keep eyes on the house.
Right.
See who's in and out. Keep an eye on traffic and try to understand the network they've got.
Yeah. That's definitely a viable option. Let's roll with it.
All right, are you guys ready to go into execution?
All right, we're ready with the car and with the drone. And I guess we're probably in that low paint body center waiting or something.
Yeah, you got all your.
Where do
you've
you
had a
guys?
week, So you've been training up, doing your dry fire. You've got all your equipment together and everything. Everybody's kind of been briefed on what we think is the plan so far of assholes coming into the restaurant, picking up money, and then getting tailed back to wherever the hell.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Right.
All right. So next week rolls around. It's Thursday, and right at noon, they roll in like clockwork. They park not in the handicap spot, but pretty arrogantly they take up 2 spots with their red pickup truck. You see the license plate. You guys are in just observation points, just kind of overlooking the restaurant. Michael also has he's got his phone with him, and you've got a sort of a semi-secure communication app with him. Anyways, they go in there. Michael calls them into a back room, into the office, where they negotiate. He tries to get them to talk to their boss or whatever, but again, they don't want to hear it, and they pretty much just take the money and leave and get back into their truck.
Right.
And they don't stay to eat, and they're pulling out.
Yep. If we have a drone,
And-
deploy it to follow them.
Copy that. As they shoot back up Stratford, you guys deploy your drone. You start to follow them with your lead vehicle and the tail behind it. And let's see roughly where they go.
I gotta say, I have a little bit more respect for them since they didn't take up the handicap spot. They're really solid citizens.
They go far, eh?
All right, so they pull up Stratford. Your lead vehicle stays back far enough for a while. This is a pretty heavy intersection right here, so it always kind of sucks no matter what time of day, really. And they pull up, but once you get past the 40 here, it's not so bad anymore. And eventually they pull off into this Olive Street area right here. You notice them get out, and they visit what is known as the New You massage parlor. This is just some local knowledge. Again, you wouldn't know this if you're just playing the game, but if you've lived in Winston, this place is kind of a hub for just scumbag activity and you know, things that usually go on at massage parlors. It's also a place that's suspected to be involved in like human trafficking and stuff like that. Police have kind of on and off had it under surveillance, as far as I'm aware. Shut it down. It may or may not still be there in real life, but for our game, we'll say it's there at 503 Thurston Street.
Olive Street. Hold on. All right. Yep. Thurston Street. Mm-hmm. Gross jack off massage place. Yep.
Yep. They don't leave security on the vehicle as they go in. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Do we want to air tag it?
Sure, definitely.
All right. Pull up. I get out of the vehicle. Discreetly place an air tag in the wheel well, and then get back in the car and take off.
Oh, you did good. You got a 17 on a D20, so you're pretty.
I get +5. I get +5 to sneak around massage parlors because you know.
Because you're a creepy fuck.
Because I'm creepy.
Yeah. Me too. Fuck it.
That's hilarious. It's right next to a
I have
church.
a trench coat from the thrift shop.
Does it have an
It's
anime?
like, what do you mean I look like the guy who would go to the jerk off parlor? What do you mean I should do?
All right, very nice. So, all right, you air tag the vehicle, and yeah, now you can kind of breathe a little more easily, as long as you're within the city and there's Wi-Fi and all that stuff nearby. You know, that air tag is working like a charm on your, we'll say your Blackbone or your Walmart tablet that you bought with cash or acquired otherwise, however you did. And yeah, it's chugging along. You notice they're in there for a good long while, like an hour or so, and eventually they come out. And if you wanted to, this would be a good time to take them, because you know, guys, after they blow their load, they're kind of loopy and stupid, and anyways, just kind of how they are. But we haven't really discussed that, so
I think the goal is to follow him. No reason to take him here as opposed to earlier.
Yeah,
the anonymity of it, but yeah.
Yeah, that was my understanding. I just wanted to make the point for people watching. Like, if you catch somebody coming out of a situation like that,
for sure,
where they're, you know, at their mistress's house or whatever, it's their head's going to be in the clouds, and it's a comparatively easy target.
All right. Do we want to blow them up on the way to the jerk-off parlor, or do we want to hope they...
Yeah, we should keep following them.
Stay out of their way and let them get to where they're going.
Yep, just follow them.
Yep. I agree.
All right, so you're going to have an easier time now as well with the air tag. You're pretty much not rolling for it anymore at this point between the drone and the... let's see, you switch out vehicles, and they go back down Stratford, and this time they get on the highway, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. The trailing vehicle has to, you know, brake and make sure they stay in the back in the slow lane, and they take off down the 40, which is, you know, big main highway here, until they get off onto this intersection right here, and you follow them, and again, because you have your own, you know, Google Maps and Map Recon, you kind of look ahead and you realize kind of where you're going. Once you pass this kind of intersection here, you realize, like, this is really the only way into this place where you're going right now, is through, you know, through this Willard, and then you've got Green Oaks, and then they make a left and eventually come to a stop right in front of this apartment right here.
I think this is the thug lair or whatever GWOT was talking about.
The thug lair.
The thug lair.
Yeah, it would appear so. Okay. We definitely should back off of that. And if we want to watch it, we should watch this with a drone. Because there's not enough civilian activity and stuff in there to allow actual individuals or vehicles to be hidden. So probably make that happen back off to the other side of the highway somewhere, or somewhere adjacent to this.
Yeah, what's that Magnolia Creek place on the right? Is that a is that
looking.
like a,
Oh, let's see.
is that a hotel or something?
It's an assisted
no
living
idea.
facility.
We're visiting Grandma. Don't mind us while we set our drone up and fly it around.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad play for sure.
Yeah, you got plenty of woods too to play with, so that's nice.
All right, we've got our hide site.
Okay, so we set up a hide site and we observe it with a drone for 24 hours. Do we gain any intel?
Okay. As you watch it with a drone, you realize that this is definitely kind of a more rougher neighborhood. Most of the houses probably have guns in them for sure, and there's an increase in the breed of vicious dogs, pit bulls, German shepherds, that kind of thing roaming around. Not necessarily roaming around, but people have them here for security. As far as the gangsters go, the two bodyguards get out, and they get picked up by another vehicle that kind of takes off. But the main collector guy seems to be staying in the apartment. During the next day, he does not go anywhere, and the red truck does not move.
Is
So the
there...
bodyguard's left, and he's still there.
Yes. Is there any
Did I hear
reason...
ri-
Yes, you did, Phil. Is there any reason
All right.
to suspect or not suspect the entirety of the occupants of that building, which I understand is multiple units, is this the thug barracks, or is there any reason for us to think that or not to think that?
So we bring the thug hunter and have him do the thug shake.
Like, do we see
I would
like
say
little
it's like
little
the-
kids coming and living in there, or is it like just a bunch of military age males hanging out, fucking smoking weed in the front lawn all day long? Like, what do we
Do
see?
we have to care about target discrimination?
Yes, this is where I'm going for sure.
Yeah. So there's kids, and
Okay.
there's definitely women and like some working class families. This guy looks like he's by himself, except for his dog. There are other people that live here. Some of them are military age males that look like they'd be, scurrilous, but for the most part, this guy looks like he feels pretty safe. But he stays inside and doesn't really move around a whole lot.
And do we know
Can I make a suggestion?
what building or room rather he lives in?
Yes, he's in the middle on the upper floor of 2570.
Got it. Yeah, what's up?
And I'm
Make
understanding.
an Uber Eats order to his house. As soon as he opens the door, throw a grenade in.
Yes, along those lines, but you just go knock on the door, whatever, with like a polo and a clipboard on, and say you're there. Go get a plumbing shirt and say you're there from the building, that there was a problem on the first floor and you need to come upstairs and check his pipes or whatever, some shit like that.
Reflective vest works well too.
Yep. Polo, plumbing emblem, reflective vest, clipboard, tool bag, and then everybody else, all the other musketeers will be, just behind him out of peephole sight. As soon as he opens the door, as long as we can passively allow entrance, hopefully he says, yeah, sure, comes in, opens it all the way, turns around and walks in, and then we all can just rush. But if he just cracks it and tries to not let us in, then it's up to plumber, actor to bust through that, and then allow everybody else, obviously, to rush in. Is where my mind is going.
It's just 3 of us, right?
Made me think of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, brother.
Does Mr. Collector Man speak English?
Yes. We'll make this simple. Or one of you speaks Spanish, or maybe 2 of you. Whatever. Language is not a problem.
Right. So at this point, he's been in there and idle for like a day, something like that, right?
Yes.
Just for my learning, if you approach the place with a main plumber guy, I really like that idea. That'd totally work. That's cool. How far away would the other two guys be? When you said they were out of peephole sight, are they just like standing on the other side of the, just a little bit away from the doors so that the gangster thug can't see them? Or
yeah,
how far away?
That's the idea. I mean, it gets real nitpicky about the exact, like, how the entryways look, et cetera, which also then, for everybody listening, gets into your own personal defense. Having an entryway that draws people into, like, a funnel so that you can see, like, those entryways when you walk into a house and it's like a little entryway hallway. Those are really safe because anybody that's, like, hiding around the corner is hiding so far away that you almost would have time to, like, shut the door on them. And everybody that could rush in, you're looking at them right there. Even bonus tips, if there's a window facing towards that entry alleyway that gives you another angle of fire on people as they stack up against you right there. So it just depends on whatever this looks like here, but assuming it's all just like flat and then each unit has its door that goes in, right, then yeah, they would just be 5-6 feet off to the side, leaned up against the wall, so that you wouldn't be able to see them unless you, like, walked out and looked.
Yep, cool.
All right.
Yeah,
what
getting grabbed.
Mr. GWOT, what are we gonna do with him? Let's say we do successfully, all 3 of us bum rush in there. What's the end game? What are we gonna do with him?
We want to know more. Where's yeah, I mean, obviously I would have more time to think about these questions, but, like, where who's in charge of you? How many people are you guys extorting? Why are you extorting from me? Where does the person that's making the decision to extort from me live? And if you don't know that, where do you meet him? When do you meet him? What's his name? Et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, probably, I mean, I don't have a whole fucking holding place and lair and all that, or time to, like, do the psychological game with him, so we're gonna have to go medieval, right? Like,
yeah,
start with toes.
We got the Dremel tool with us, right?
Yeah, start with fingers and toes, and if he's not going the way we want, start chopping other finger-like objects off of him. And if he holds tight through all that, then just probably dump him. And unfortunately, we had to make a blood mess, and then sit on the house and wait for somebody to come in to, like, pick him up, and then either ambush them there or grab them there and play the same game again.
Also, good idea to go through his phone for intelligence. Also, if we can get him to, if he's got a thumbprint phone access, use that. Even after he's dead, we can use that. And also take a playbook from a page from the playbook of the ATF. We got to take out his dog first thing. We were told he had a dog.
If the dog is aggressive, yeah. If the dog is being unchill, which is going to be likely, then yes, the dog will have to also get dumped.
Yeah.
And yes, we probably, if there's 3 of us, like, once we get in and get control of him, somebody should probably come outside and be an exterior lookout, prepared to...
Yeah, we need to look out.
Prepared to engage any cars that try to, like, speed up and, like, hop out and run up into the apartment, right? He can engage them from the tree line, which would delay them and allow us to exit, like, the rear window or whatever. Something along those lines.
Good plan. All right, you need me to put on a reflective vest and get a clipboard? I'll knock on the door.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right. All right.
Anybody have any other comments, concerns, questions before we jump into it? Just make sure I didn't leave anybody out.
Oh, let's do it.
Alrighty.
All right. So,
all right, cool.
We'll go ahead and approach the door. Knock on the door. Tell him we've got a problem with the plumbing and we need to check his bathroom.
Okay. So you knock on the door. and you wait for a little bit, and you wait, and eventually you hear footsteps, and he walks. He kind of looks through the window, looks at you, kind of mutters something, and then kind of cracks the door open. But it's, you know, it's barely just enough for him to talk through and look at you through. You can tell there's a there's like a still like a locking chain on the inside. You can see it at a little bit less than eye level, and he asks you who you are and what do you want.
Hey, I'm from the plumbing department here with the apartment complex, and I just want to make sure that the plumbing isn't going to be a problem. We had a mainspring leak down on the ground level, and we suspect that the pipe is leaking from higher up, which means it's only a matter of time before it starts running through your walls and ruining your apartment. And I just need to get to your bathroom and check something real quick. I'll be about 30 seconds. I'll be out of your hair, man.
Look, everything's fine. I'll be on the lookout for it, but I'll call you guys and put in a ticket. I'll tell you what, I'll check it right now. Just give me a second. I gotta put a shirt on and check some things. Give me a second, and he closes the door.
Okay, he closes the door. He's right there. Who's got the shotgun to take the hinges off?
I would press again if it was me. I would knock on the door again.
Okay, all right.
And be like, I have to look at it. I'm not going to be able, like, I'll get fired if I don't go look at it. Like, I'll get fired if I don't go look at it myself. I have to do it. I apologize, man. You know, take it up with your landlord if it's an issue.
Okay, sounds good. I will press the issue. Let me try another persuasion check, Mr. DM.
All right. So
I got my
knock on the door
for +5 to.
Yeah. He comes back after a little while. He says everything's fine. And he's willing to sign off on whatever.
All right, would you sign this paper to say that there's no problem then? I just need a signature here.
There you go,
yeah,
beautiful.
Just pass it to me through this tiny slit in my door.
All right, who's got the shotgun?
Yes, real talk. You'd pass him the paper, and while he's looking down signing it, that's when we would, we would rush up, kick the door in, etc., etc.
Yeah, I'm passing him. I'll pass him the clipboard. Go ahead here. And I dropped the pencil too.
Beautiful.
I dropped the pencil. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so clumsy, man. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me get that. And that's when we hear bam.
We rush up, kick the door. It's only got that flimsy little chain there. It's that's not holding nothing back. And rush into the room, snatch that motherfucker up, thump him over the head if we need to, do a little fucking jujitsu. Somebody check the dog. The dog's coming at us, and get the door closed. Get him fucking seated and tied.
Check the outdoors. Make sure there's nobody sneaking up on us outside.
Assuming all that goes well, not to.
Yeah.
Put 12 steps on.
So here we go. As you drop the pen, and you come back up, you hand it to him. Your hand slips behind you. You grab a cattle prod, and he doesn't see it. And as he looks down to put the signature on it, you basically shove the thing right into his fucking neck. And you don't use the shotgun because, again, there's acoustic gunshot detectors. If something like that cranks off, the police are going to have your location pretty much immediately because it's not suppressed and they're loud as fuck. I don't know if there's a cell phone tower near here. Presumably they kind of cover most of the city, but something like that's going to make a big bang. It's going to attract the attention of neighbors and other things you don't want. So
Definitely.
Anyways, we'll say the cattle prod works. He just kind of dumps, and before you know it, you guys are through the threshold. You have to shoot the dog because that's just reality. Unfortunately, that's going to be it's just going to be how it goes. That thing's going to get aggressive. Maybe it bites one of you. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it has, what is it, the freaking rabies or dog herpes or whatever. Maybe you have dog herpes now. But anyways, you guys pretty much get what you want.
I don't want dog herpes. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, I can explain that to my wife.
Alright, so you guys grab him, and you've pretty much got what you want. You have a guy that is now also set up in Overwatch, and you've got the 2-on-1 going with your captive.
Yep.
And you choose to maybe start some music or something to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
muffle
definitely.
noises.
Put some TV on. And yeah,
Alright.
so we want to know, we want to know up the food chain. Who's in charge of you? Who's calling the shots? Where does he live? Where do you meet him? What's he drive? What's he look like? What's his name? Check his phone.
Check his phone, see who he's been contacting recently. Check text messages. There's a lot he doesn't even need to tell us. But he might be able to offer some clarification with things. We've got contact information now, at least.
And
Yep,
if he doesn't want to talk, we'll probably start taking like pinkies and pinky toes, maybe in a tooth or two, and obviously
and I'm gonna
scale from
call
there.
the person. I'm gonna call the person in his contact labeled mom and tell him he's gonna have to explain why her son is missing all these fingers.
This guy definitely has separate cell phones.
Oh, okay.
Can we do TSC and SSC on the little places?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, absolutely. Not gonna say you're in a total rush, but you
We don't have time to do a
seen you.
detailed fine comb search. We can definitely look around, open some drawers, see what he's got put on the fridge.
Absolutely. And
Is this like a nice
eventually-
place? Give us a general impression of the place.
no, it's a. I said it was like a rundown,
Oh.
kind of a rundown neighborhood. But the
Okay.
people here do work. Some of like
Alright.
50% of them work, and then others are, various low lifes, whatever. This guy's like the local king low life of the area, at least of this apartment complex. Let's see, what was I gonna say? Eventually, a lot of people they act tough initially, but a lot of times you don't actually have to torture somebody. You just gotta make them think you're gonna do it.
Yep.
And then they start to. He's gonna sing like a canary because he is not a religious fundamentalist extremist. He is a for-profit kind of a dude, and him getting clipped is not very profitable. So he's gonna.
That's really cutting into the bottom line. Oh no. We lost you there.
Planned, and it's about 10:30. Oh, what was the last thing you guys heard?
I didn't hear any after you said it's not profitable.
Okay, yeah. So, let me think. Okay, you guys pretty much have him, and this is, let's see, you get all the information out of him that you want, and yeah, he talks. I don't have anything else planned. It's about 10:30 over
Okay.
here, so at least for tonight, until we maybe continue this next time.
Sure.
This is what I've got. So good
The
job.
guy above him is named Big Dog T.
You motherfuckers, dude, and Big Dog T.
Is that from Tater? Is that where the T comes from?
I just made it up on the fly. I was just doing this just like you're doing it one day, and I was timed to talk about who the kingpin was, and Big Dog T just was what randomly came out of my mouth, and he's been infamous amongst the lore of the channel ever since then.
That was my first TDG, and yeah, that has haunted me ever since. He got away. I can't believe
Big
it.
Dog
Big
T
Dog
did
T
get
got
away. That must be why everybody thinks he's coming back, because he escaped once.
I look in my rearview mirror expecting to see him one of these days. That Escalade he escaped from.
I appreciate this rundown, man. This TDG was good. Something different.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
That was
Yeah,
good.
I don't know how to explain it. I guess there's a lot more than just small unit tactics that are going on here for sure. So
Yes.
really making me think. Awesome.
Yeah, that was kind of the intent. It's a little more discussion based. The other thing that's cool is, so I discovered this is there's Google Maps and then there's My Google Maps, and I can draw on this and drop pins, which is kind of neat. Like,
Oh.
so if I want to draw like a box, boom, 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 and then you can color it. And anyways, it's kind of
You'll have to play around with it. That's very cool.
yeah. So you color it orange or whatever, and then, well, don't do that, but yeah.
Getting the map set up on Roll20 is a nightmare.
Yeah, that was always the limiting factor for me, but I mean it was just, it's just a pain, because then it takes away time that you're planning for the scenario and all that.
Definitely. Yeah, that's cool though. My Google Maps. I'll have to check that out.
Alrighty, well, appreciate you guys. Thank you for playing. And,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I guess we won't see everybody next week because of Thanksgiving, and
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Next week we will be off for Thanksgiving, friends. Enjoy your families. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say pertaining to this TDG?
Plot
No.
scenario, good game.
I had a question for you about Monkey Business videos coming out. Do you have a planned schedule or anything like that?
Yeah, I need to do it. I've been
okay.
giving myself like a couple weeks off. October was a fucking nightmare for me, and I've been taking like a bit of a mental break. But yeah, I'm about to start recording again. I'm gonna do a terrain analysis video, and then I'm gonna do the guerrilla warfare videos for sure right after that.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad you recognize the limits, and you're not going to let the quality of the content you're producing suffer. That's good. I'm glad you took some time for that. Awesome.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
looking forward to it when you get to it.
Yeah, I look forward to making it, man.
Yeah. Well, great game, guys.
Anyone have anything they'd like to talk about at all? Anything in the world you want to ask me?
I don't really have anything left. I thought the move about you guys stacking up on the door, the way that was done, that was pretty cool. Yeah. Well done.
Yes, sir. And I have a last point to make if no one else does. That is a point I make in the channel and stuff all the time, but I don't know if I've ever made it on video. That small unit tactics is like the basis. There's a lot of discussion behind the doors with a lot of people on what we should be focused on. Should we focus for an insurgency? Should we focus on farming? Should we focus on trench warfare, drones, etc., right? And small unit tactics is in my opinion the base. There's also some responsibility with Second Amendment stuff. I have a whole video on it, so I'm not going to go down that road. But even beyond that, right? Even when we're doing this, it's like a 3-man team that's like subverting the law and all that kind of stuff. There's still elements of small unit tactics that matter, right? When we kick in the door and go through the building, we're going to have to clear out that building and make sure there's nobody hiding anywhere, right? That's going to be basic room clearing tactics. Small unit tactics of I know I need to set a watch out, an LPOP on the outside of this building to be able to observe and delay any advancing units to allow everybody else on the inside to extract, right? That's a small unit tactic, basic grunt thing that we're applying here. So it's the foundation that you kind of have to have before you build off, before you become a CQB, SWAT team, SF god, before you become a reconnaissance dude, before you start doing insurgencies, right? You need to know the fundamental basics of shoot, move, and communicate. That's all I had to say about that.
Awesome. Concise. It's a good foundation for everything else you're building on.
Definitely. So if no one has anything else, I guess that's a wrap for tonight, fellas. Alrighty.
Same.
See y'all in 2 weeks, boys. Join the Discord
Thanks a lot,
if you're
boys.
watching on the internet. See everybody around soon.